Let's talk about it. Episode 3, wrapping up NBA and NHL free agency. It was interesting to say the least, but NBA is actually technically not over yet. Neither is NHL. But I don't see anything on the horizon anymore for the Philadelphia 76ers. So that's pretty much a wrap since we're over the cap. As for the NHL, the Flyers, I don't see them doing anything. You know, they get my hopes up every single year. It's disgusting, but at the end of the day, I'm a Flyers fan. I'm going to stick with them year in and year out. Hope for the best. So how you guys doing tonight? Let's get started. And, like I said, this show is for you guys. It's an interactive show. Whatever you guys ask or say, I will answer with a clear opinion, or at least try to. And yeah, let's get going. By the way, the Yankees are losing to the Mets. So, wait, are they losing to the Mets or? I don't even know. But no, bases are loaded. See something real quick. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens when it comes to everything else. You know, supposedly Kawhi Leonard is supposed to go to the Los Angeles Lakers, but that has yet to be determined because if he goes to the Los Angeles Lakers, you might as well wrap up the season. Nobody's going to beat that team. Everyone's going to say, oh, but Nitro, they don't have a bench. It doesn't matter. You know, it just does not matter. It's just I'm so sick and tired of all these super teams. Like, can we just play the game the way it was intended to play, with having a couple of good players and then a bunch of role players? I just don't get this whole super team thing. You know, I just want it to go away. And unfortunately, I don't think it's going to go away until LeBron's out of here. So whatever. Yeah, Rob's talking about Eagles fan for Life 17 is talking about Nair's coming in. I don't even know the score of that game. I'll check it out right now. But depending on what the score is, I would have to agree with you because Nair stinks. So, it's 2-0. Yeah, they're probably going to lose 3-2. But it is what it is. Yeah, they're probably going to lose that game, buddy. Paz says, what's up, Nitro? What's up, Nicholas? How you doing? MC Philly asks, what's up, Nitro? What do you think about the Ben Simmons deal? Too premature, ridiculous, too expensive for a guy that cannot shoot a jump shot. Cannot shoot a jump shot. And you know what? It's just I kind of saw this coming because, you know, you're not going to let up a player with that kind of capability. But until he gets a jump shot, he's not worth that contract. You know, everything else he's great at. But as a point guard, I expect you to shoot the fucking ball. Like, just all it comes down to. But unfortunately, whatever. All right. Yeah, he says 2-0. Do you think Ben deserved that extension? Not right now. I mean, it's not inked right now. It's kind of a thought, and it's getting there. But right now, it's not inked. Bryce Blackwell said, stop hating on the squad. I don't know what he's talking about. A lot of people were talking about Preston. Yeah, I knew this was going to come up. But, yeah, you know what? Last night, and I'll get into this a little bit, and then I don't want to get too far into it because this is only an hour show. But I was at my friend's house last night when everything transpired. And Preston was a really, really, really good guy. And everything transpired. And then when I heard what happened, you know, Mark Baker, what is he known as on he's a Cowboys fan. Mark Baker, I texted him because he was very close to Preston. And he was like, no, I don't buy it for a second. He does a bunch of troll jobs and whatnot. But at first, I was like, no, this can't be real because, you know, I kind of believe that because Preston has done this shit in the past. But suicide would really be taking it to the next level. Like, you cannot joke about that. And, you know, right off the bat, I made the video. And usually I don't put videos out like that unless I get more details. But something in the back of my mind just knew that he committed suicide. You could just see it in the kit. You could just see everything. You could see the warning signs. You could see him trashing people, calling people pedophiles, which wasn't him. That wasn't him. That was his character online. That was his escape online, to say what he wanted on YouTube. That wasn't who he was as a person. And you could just see it from a mile away. The kid was troubled. The kid had a troubled life growing up, and going to the military. Well, not the military, the army. That could have played a huge role too, because a lot of people get postpartum depression from being in the army. They see a lot of shit over there, and I don't know if he saw anything too reckless over there, but at the same time, that could factor into it. And then when I heard the whole story, like I don't know if I should share the story because I don't want to. I'm trying to be respectful to his family, but the whole story that transpired, it's very eerie what happened. It's extremely eerie what happened. And I just hope that if people are feeling the same way that he did, get help. Suicide is never the answer. And you never know. And this is exactly why I put out my video in March about the whole coming out situation. The reason why I put that out is for shit that like shit that happened yesterday. All right, with Preston. All right, because don't ever be afraid to be who you are. Express yourself. But if you are dealing with concerns, if you are dealing with trouble, all right, go seek help. Seek help. Go talk to someone, even if it's not your family member. Go talk to someone about your problems. All right, because you venting out your problems are better than keeping them in and then one day resulting into something horrific like what just happened. So it's sad. He was going to come back this year. He was going to come back this year and do good things. He was going to be a part of the TTC again. He was a great video editor. He will dearly be missed by me, definitely. It's just one of those things, because I remember like back in 2015 when we were playing the Falcons, I was like, who's this kid? Because he would trash everybody, and I rarely put labels on people, but Preston was probably one of the most, if not the most, not most, one of the best trash talkers I've ever encountered, ever. And the kid was 17 years old. It's a shame. It's a shame what happened. But with that being said, I'm going to get off that topic, because we pretty much talked about it all day, and and to leave it to where it was, he actually didn't die until 2:38 this afternoon. So he ended up trying to kill himself. Well, he did kill himself. He succeeded last morning, yesterday, and it all transpired today where he was dead. That is awful. I could only imagine what his family was going through. Rest in peace, Preston Fox. You're in a better life. Well, you're at a better place, and yeah. But let's get back to some of these comments. I missed some because I was going deep into that. Bryce Blackwell said Simmons' deal is dumb as fuck. It is. The whole Ben Simmons thing, I don't get it. I know we drafted him number 1, but he doesn't have a jump shot. So nothing tells me where we should have went to this depth to sign him to this much money for this length right now. But then again, I'm not the Sixers organization. It's their decision. I'm just here along for the ride. I'm not a GM, so whatever. I could always put my input in, but who's listening? MC Philly says, yeah, I think the Sixers should have waited until next offseason, see if he worked hard this summer to get a jumper or not. Yeah, I agree 100%. And not to work out with your brother. Go work out with someone that actually has an actual jump shot. And yeah, I agree 100%, MC Philly. It's just everyone knows my opinions on Ben Simmons. Everybody knows it. Ben Simmons has promise to be one of the best. He has the attributes. He has the skill to be one of the best. But without a jump shot, you're nothing. You're nothing in this league without a jump shot. Now, if he develops a jump shot overnight, he'll be a top 5 player in this league. And that's what makes me furious about this guy. He will not take a jump shot. He won't even attempt a jump shot. Like, I'll give you an example. During the OKC game last year, it was like in the middle of the season. The clock was winding down. We were down by, I think, 1 point. He was coming up with the ball 5 seconds to go. He was taking his time. It was his pace. He was going up. He was going onto the perimeter. What he does at the last second is shoves it off to Jimmy Butler to take the shot. Terrible rhythm. You had nothing going there. He gives it to Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler shoots it off balance. Bang, we lose. It's just stuff like that. You had a shot for the taking right there. I don't care if you airball it. Take the shot. You had the best rhythm. You had the best lane to take the shot. Take the shot. And unfortunately, he didn't get it this year. But we'll see what happens. I don't have any. I'm not going to say I don't have any hope for him, but for right now, I don't think he's worth that contract at all. No. Do I watch football? Yeah, I'm an Eagles fan, buddy. Kenny, I've been an Eagles fan my whole life. This channel is basically based off of the Philadelphia Eagles. During the football season, that's the cream of the crop. I love the Philadelphia Eagles, so it's going to be a blast. This season's going to be a blast. Now, if Carson Wentz goes down, going to suck, but I'm not going to rely on that. By the way, if anyone is new here to the channel, this is a new segment that I started this weekend. It's called Let's Talk About It. I'm going to do like 2 to 3 episodes a week. Whether it's political talk, whether it's sports, movies, whatever. Whatever you guys ask in the chat, I will answer. I just put a plot point on the title to where I'm talking about the free agency, but I could go off the rails real quick. You guys could ask me whatever you want, and I'll go into depth. It is an hour show. It's your show. I'm just here for the ride. If you're new to the channel, smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel, and let's get crack-a-lackin'. All right, so let's see. Steelers fan 19 said, "What's up, Nitro? What's up, Steelers fan? How you doing?" He's also talking about Preston. It's sad that Preston never got to see his team win the Super Bowl. It was close, man. It was really close. That sucks. Kenny Cod 3E says, Dak or Wentz. Honestly, I think it's not even a debate, dude. And I'm gonna go into depth with this one as well, because Dak or Wentz is such a stupid conversation. Dak, everyone knows that Dak, well, a clear-minded NFL fan thinks Dak is a serviceable QB. He's a good QB. He's not what Carson Wentz was in 2017. Carson Wentz in 2017 put that team on his back before he got injured. Like, put that team on his back. That's something Dak didn't do. Dak had Zeke. Zeke did a lot, and Zeke should have won Rookie of the Year, but they gave it to Dak for some odd reason. I don't know why they did, but they did. Wentz is everything that Dak isn't. All right? Now, Dak has the clutch attributes to where he can win games in meaningful spots. Wentz is still an unknown when it comes to that. So I think that's why people have that conversation sometimes. But skill-wise, it's not even close. Kenny also said, trade Ben Simmons and sign Danny Green, who can shoot. Well, I'm not going to sign and trade Ben Simmons for Danny Green. Danny Green's a good player, but he's not – he doesn't have the type of skill set that Ben Simmons could potentially have. So that's – yeah, I'm not going to do that. Obviously not. Phillies won, Rob said. Good for you, man. You guys need to win. You guys need to put together a winning streak, because the Phillies, they've been kind of mediocre to average all year. You should be the GM, says Joey Marks. Maybe. I mean, to be a GM, you kind of have to go to law school, and I don't have the ability to go to law school because I didn't have a 4.12 GPA in high school, and I didn't have a great GPA in college either, because number one, I didn't finish college. Because I had to drop out for personal reasons. People ask me all the time if I'm going back. School, see, the thing is school is not really for me because I have trouble paying attention. So it'd be a waste of money. So I went to Connecticut School of Broadcasting. I did great there. Now I'm on A2D Radio. I'm doing a show Mondays and Saturdays, and I think I'm going to get a gig soon. I really do. I think I have what it takes to really kick the shit out of the sports industry. I really do. And I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep doing A2D. until I finally get what I want. I don't know when it's going to be. I'm just going to get it. I know I am because it's my passion, it's my drive, and I love doing this shit. So I can't wait to see what the future holds. I really can't. Do you think Jimmy Butler going to Miami was a bad move? No. Here's why. Whether it's in basketball, if you're a movie star, if you're a fucking doctor, or if you're a driver, you always go with what your heart tells you to do. All right? Jimmy Butler did not want to play here. All right? It was just a job to him, and it was as clear as day. He did not want to be here. You read him after the post-game press conferences where he was always talking about the weather and how shitty it was at times. He wanted to be in Miami. I think he made up his mind mid-season, even when he got traded here. Was he a phenomenal player for us? Yes. But if he wasn't going to be happy here, I don't want him here. It's that simple. Do I think we got better? Do I think we're a better overall team? Right now, yeah, I do. Because we're better on defense. Al Horford always killed us, and now we have him on our team, so we don't have to rely on putting two people in the post against Al Horford trying to contain his shooting abilities. We have that now. Did we overpay for him? Absolutely. But you have to get someone in return of losing a stud like Jimmy Butler. Now, the problem is, everyone asks me, who are we going to get to fill Jimmy Butler's place shooting-wise? Because Jimmy Butler was a pure shooter and a great defender. Defense-wise, we got Al Horford. Al Horford's a great defender. We got that Josh Richardson guy in return from the Miami Heat for the Jimmy Butler sign and trade. Richardson is a good defender. I don't know about shooting, but he's a good defender. I think Tobias will be a better player without Redick and Jimmy Butler on the floor. I think Tobias Harris now has his space to do what he wants freely. And I think that is a huge, huge thing when it comes to Tobias Harris's game. I really do. Wow, the Phillies actually beat the Braves, thank God. Yeah, I saw that. I think it was 2-0. There have been rumors about the Heat getting Bradley Beal, but I don't know if they were able to keep their salary cap. That's what Nicholas Paz said. Yeah, I don't know. I've been hearing a bunch of stuff, but I'm not sure. I guess free agency's not quite done yet, so I guess we'll see what happens. But that would be a good pickup. Do I watch CNN? Alex Sanchez says. I don't. And the reason being, and this, like I said before, this show can go off the rails. This show is reckless as fuck. This is a show where you guys could ask whatever you want, and I'll answer it freely. Reason why I don't watch CNN. Number one, I was a huge Hillary Clinton hater. All right? I thought she was a bitch. I thought she killed people. I thought she was one of the worst choices for the Democratic Party in history. I thought Bernie Sanders should have been the candidate, but they rigged it for Hillary because they thought that she would have got it easily over Trump because she was a woman and it would have been the first woman president ever, and it completely backfired. And the reason why I don't watch CNN is because they're agenda-based, all right? And people could say, oh, but what are you talking about? Fox News is agenda-based. You might be right. I don't watch any of them. All right, because they're all towards one side. I want something that's right dab in the middle. All right, and with CNN, and this is real bullshit right here. I'm gonna talk about this. I'm gonna go right into this. Reason why I don't watch CNN, the pure reason, is because before Trump got into office, all you would see week in and week out were shootings, police officers killing kids, teenagers. There were shootings every single week. All right. You watch CNN now. They're bashing Trump. They're bashing him. Where'd the shootings go? Shootings happen every single day. They are so top-heavy, agenda-based on making people hate people. It is sickening. It's sickening. Their whole goal is to have people hate people. They don't talk about news. There's nothing newsworthy about CNN. There's nothing. All right? They brainwash you so you hate a certain type of party, a certain type of crowd. And this is what I talk to Rob about all the time because he's a Democrat. He's pure blue. All right. I talk to him all the time. This is why I don't talk politics with Rob because he is so agenda based when it comes to that party. There's nothing good about the parties, Republican or Democrat. Honestly, fuck both of them. All right. They're so agenda based. It's not news. It's pussy shit. And I want to know, and everyone knows that people get shot every single day. Everyone knows it. But they would keep harping on it, keep harping on it, keep harping on it. The whole Baltimore thing with the Baltimore riots 3-4 years ago now, outside of Camden Yards, where they had to play in an empty stadium the next day because of Freddie Gray. I think he got lifted up by police in a really horrible manner, and he ended up having brain damage and ended up dying. Baltimore. You guys have to understand something. You have to understand something. Baltimore is one of the shittiest places on the face of the earth when it comes to certain types of areas. You have to understand that there's just certain types of there's places in Trenton, places in Baltimore, places in New Jersey. All right, there's places everywhere where you cannot walk during the daytime and not fear for your life. Okay, Baltimore is such a shitty city in some of the places. I'm not saying all. The Inner Harbor is a great spot. I love the Inner Harbor. I saw the Yankees-Baltimore game there this year. Baltimore is such a shitty city. And what did CNN do? They went right into Baltimore where it looked like it was the projects. They went right into Baltimore. They took a story, which is probably the easiest story of all time because apparently Freddie Gray sold drugs. All right, and they were arresting him. Now, did they handle the manner in a great way? No, they didn't. They fucked the kid up. All right, and that's why they took the story because they was like, oh, this is easy. We're gonna get ratings. We're gonna be able to shoot this for a week because guess what? It's gonna incite a riot, and we're gonna get ratings because we're gonna film the whole thing when cops go apeshit on the protesters. It is such lazy reporting. It's such lazy reporting. It's a stupid narrative, and it hasn't happened since. You want to know why? Because Trump's in office, and making fun of Trump and wanting people to hate on him is so easy to do. That's why they do it every day, because it's easy. They don't have to do anything. All they have to do is talk about the same thing over and over and over again. It's not news. All they do is brainwash people. That's all they do. It's stupid. So no, to answer your question, Alex, I don't watch CNN. CNN is an asshole company. They're not news. And to be honest with you, Trump's right. It is fake news. They don't talk about news. Hopefully I answered your question in a very deftful manner. Nicholas Paz says, I officially turned 18 at midnight. Congrats, buddy. I remember when I turned 18. It's a while ago now. I'm 26 now, but it's good times. There's definitely differences. There's differences between being a child and being an adult. Now, being an adult, you could do a lot more things. You could go out whenever you want. You could spend your money however you want it. You could go to a bar at any time you want, 11, 12 o'clock at night, even if it's by yourself. During a kid, you can't do all that stuff, but you also don't have to really rely on anything. Like, you don't really have to work. And so there's differences, but I love being an adult. I think when you turn past the age of, I'm going to say maybe 21, that's when you really go into your zone as an adult and you find your path in life finally. But yeah, congratulations, buddy. Enjoy every second of it. 18 was a good year. I loved it. Pratham says, you think we overpaid Horford? Yeah, just a little bit, but we needed someone to replace Jimmy Butler. We needed it. By the way, anyone new to the channel in here, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're not already. I will be doing this every twice to 3 times a week. I'll be doing another one in Vegas when I get there, and I love the segment already. I really do, because I could do these for days, and I could just talk to you guys. So this is a segment for you guys. You could ask whatever you want. I'll answer it. It doesn't have to be sports related. It could be politics. It could be music. It could be movies. It could be thrill seeking. I don't care. Ask me whatever you want. Ask me whatever you want. I'll go into depth. Joey Marks asks a good one. He asks, what do you think about the straight pride march? People that hate themselves, to be honest with you. I'm not going to go deep into this one because, obviously I'm on one side of it. But I just think it's people that hate themselves. because the whole thing about Pride Month, all right, is for people to not be afraid to come out if need be. All right. Straight Pride March, I don't get it because you don't have to be afraid to tell people that you're straight. People just assume that you're straight. Like if you come out to someone, it's like a shock. It's a shock value. So yeah, I think it's very stupid. But people hate themselves. People hate their lives. I can't stop them. Kenny says Dak versus Wentz is the next Peyton versus Brady. It's not even close, man. Peyton and Brady were like two of the best QBs of all time. Dak is not a best QB of all time. Wentz could potentially be a best QB of all time, but he has to stay healthy. If he stays healthy, sky's the limit for the guy. I have a lot to read. Sorry, guys. I really went into depth with some of these. I'm just gonna pick out some of these. So if you guys really want your question answered, just ask me again. I'm gonna pick out some good ones. Pats fan said Tobias Harris contract will come back to bite them. I don't know. It remains to be seen. I'm not a huge fan of Tobias Harris, but I understand the signing. How did I get on ATD? I asked Tom Arnone. He's the owner. I was like, listen, I want to do something. I want to expand this further. I want to be a radio host one day. What can I do to help me practice for the future? And I started this up last June. And, I used to have my own show, but now I'm on two separate shows with a completely different group of people. It's an amazing experience, and the sky's the limit. I can't wait. What are my goals, particularly when it comes to sports? I don't have any goals. I just watch the sports. I'm along for the ride. That's about it. There's nothing I could do. I'm not playing the game. I just hope the best for the teams. Yeah, you asked that. You asked that the other day, Steelers fan. I remember. I guess I'll elaborate on it a little bit. Mark Holmes says Cowboys know how to do business. They don't, because they haven't won since '96. Technically '96 because it was in January. They haven't won since '96, so they don't know how to do shit. Do I watch the WWE? Kenny says. No. From time to time, I watch WrestleMania, but that's about it. I think the product is stale. I think the product is not as good as it used to be. So it's not even worth me watching it. Yeah, so I answered this question. No, I don't watch it. But let me tell you something. They're about to have a bunch of pressure on their asses, man. They really are, because AWE is taking over apparently. That's what the wrestling community says anyway. I don't really dive into that, but Stephanie McMahon said it was true, so they're gonna have to switch something up. So maybe that sends them back to the Attitude Era, which I grew up on, which wouldn't be a bad thing. Yeah, the Inner Harbor's awesome. Nicholas Paz. What's up, Giovanni? Raven fans are actually shitty. There's shitty fans everywhere, though. That's not just Baltimore. There's shitty fans everywhere. You're gonna run into a ton of a crowd that will torment you for no reason. All right. Worst city I've been to is Newark. It's so bad. That's not a bad one. That's not a bad option to say worst city, because it's Newark is pretty bad, Nicholas. It's pretty bad. What's up, Gangrene David? How you doing? I'm gonna have him on at some point this week, I think. I just have to figure out what time and day. Sanchez is my last name. I'll change it. Yeah, I was trying to figure that out. I was trying to pronounce it. I just couldn't. Is it Alex Sanchez? I didn't know. How do you think Kemba Walker will help the Celtics get better? Well, for one, I think Kemba Walker's better than Kyrie Irving. As a pure point guard, I really do, and I think he's a better leader. So, unfortunately, I think the Celtics will be a lot more – I think they'll win a lot more games with Kemba Walker opposed to Kyrie Irving. So, Alex Sanchez says, how do I feel about Lil Nas coming out? That was a shocker to me. I'm not going to lie about that. That was a shocker to me. But you know what? It's 2019. You're going to see more and more of it. There's a lot of gay people in the world. A lot of gay people, a lot of bisexual people that were scared to come out before. Not so much now, because if someone like Lil Nas can do it, who's a rapper, all right, and sings country, and apparently people that like country music hate gay people. If he can do it, anybody can do it. All right, and that's why I put the video out there because honestly, I think I was like one of the first sports people to do it because it's all about breaking barriers. Like I don't really care about that myself, but like eventually you're gonna have to break barriers in life, and that was just one I had to break. But about Lil Nas, proud of him. I am, and I listened to his album the other day. He's actually got some good stuff. Other than that Old Town Road song, he has some good stuff. So I'll definitely be looking out for more of his music later on down the road. Steelers fan 19 says, Nitro, if the Eagles made it to the Super Bowl, who do you think they can face? I actually think right now the team with the most promise in the AFC is the Colts. I think if Andrew Luck can stay upright the whole year, they have the best team in the AFC, in my opinion. Now, you always have the Patriots, obviously, but Brady 2 is also a year older, and I think he's turning 42 this year. So we'll see what happens. But right now, I'll say the Colts. I do want to see the Jags go to the Super Bowl because obviously Nick Foles. But if I'm being honest, I'll say the Colts. Kenny says, thoughts on free college? I think it would be badass. Free college would be badass for people coming out of high school. It would be because student loans are the biggest scam in the world. There is, like, if you get a loan coming out of high school, you're happy until you get out of college, and then you're miserable, and you're like, what the fuck? That wasn't even worth it. It's just bullshit. By the way, guys, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button. I'll be doing this segment 2 to 3 times a week, and this is a show for you guys. So you guys could ask me whatever you want. I'll go deep into depth, politics, sports, music, whatever. This is for you guys. I just decided to do something that can be consistent so I could talk to a crowd of people. I think it's pretty awesome so far. Oh, this is a good question. Alex Sanchez says, what's your Eagles game day Sunday routine? It's actually funny because I've been going to every single game for the last 4 years. What I do is I get up at like 8:30 in the morning. I'm not one of those crazies that goes down there like 5 to 6 o'clock in the morning. I get up at like 8:30 in the morning, 8 to 8:30 in the morning. We head down there around 9:30, and we tailgate. Then we go in an hour before kickoff and watch the warm-ups. Then it's a superstition, Then I go up, get 2 beers, not 1, because I never want to be. I don't like odd numbers, so basically I go up to get 2 beers and then enjoy them through the duration of the game. But yeah, morning routine is the same. I get up 8:30 every single Sunday. Then I go down to the link. We tailgate for good 2.5, 3 hours. Then at 12 o'clock we go in for warm-ups. And during 4:30 games, we wouldn't go down till 11:30 or 12. So it all depends on what time the games start. But usually we try to get down there around 3.5 hours, or 3.5 hours advance of the game. That's what I usually do. It's a great routine, man. That's a good question. I love it. What's up, Bondi? How you doing? You're on A2D a lot. I see you in the comment sections. I have no thoughts, Kenny, and you know what? That's not someone that I choose to bring onto this segment because it's just not worth my time. I know the dude has a ton of subs, but it's just not worth my time. It's not. Legend Jai says, what do you think of rugby player that can make the Bills roster? I don't know. Tell me his name. I'm not thinking on anything off the top of my head. I heard about him, but yeah, tell me his name. Nicholas says, Hornets fans want Michael Jordan to soon sell the team to the owner of the Carolina Panthers. I don't know. I mean, Michael Jordan apparently was a great player. I wasn't really old enough to see him in his heyday, but as an owner, I don't think he's been all that good. So yeah, I can't disagree with that comment. Jameis Winston or Marcus Mariota? That is a good question, Kenny. Fuck yeah. I'm going to go with Marcus just because of the wheels. but both of them are just like whatever QBs. There's not one of them that I would choose over the other. They're just whatever. One of them was a top pick, and one of them was a second pick overall. Was that the same draft? I'm trying to think. Was that the same exact draft? They're just whatever QBs to me, and there's not really one that I'll pick over the other. Bondi was talking about the Leafs. He said they improved their defense. Yeah, I mean the Maple Leafs, they're pretty close to going on a run, but they're not there yet. They need to resign Mitch Marner. If they don't, I hope the Cowboys. No, not the fucking Cowboys. I hope the Flyers go after Mitch Marner because he's 22. He had 87 points last year. No, he had 92 points last year, and yeah, that would be a really good signing for the Philadelphia Flyers. Someone just messaged me right now. Yep. And what do I think? All right. And so Nicholas says Baker Mayfield looks like the real deal. Right now he does. I mean, if you look good in Cleveland, you're doing something right because Cleveland's been a dumpster fire for a latter part of like a decade. So, well, actually, no, like 15 years. So, yeah. Sean Johnson says, what do you think KD and Kyrie go into the Nets? What do I think about it? Well, if KD ever comes back to form, I think they're going to be really scary. But next year, it's just going to be Kyrie. So I don't know what to make of it right now. But yeah, I mean, getting those two names and when they're both healthy is a dynamic duo. I'm not going to lie. So those were two very good signings by the Brooklyn Nets. Steelers fan asks, Nitro, if Wentz wins the Super Bowl this year, do you think he'll go down as the best Eagles QB ever? No, because right now the best QB in Eagles history is still Donovan McNabb. It's still the most iconic QB is Nick Foles. The most statistically consistent QB is Donovan McNabb. Wentz needs to be consistent for at least 5 years in order to get that title because to be the best, you really need to go above and beyond. Statistically, anyone, in my opinion, Super Bowls are so fluky to where you could be in the best situation you possibly can to win. And it's not necessarily all about the QB that wins the Super Bowl. Now, people are going to ask me, what do you think about Foles and him not necessarily being the QB to win the Super Bowl? The thing about Nick Foles is a little different because he had one of the best games I've ever seen against the Minnesota Vikings. He was the guy that won that game. Granted, the defense only let up 7 points, but he balled out that game. And in the Super Bowl, he went toe-to-toe with Tom Brady. So that's a little different if you ask me. But Super Bowls don't really do justice for me when it says who's the best and who isn't the best QB of all time. I think Peyton Manning's better than Tom Brady, and Tom Brady has more titles than Peyton Manning. So Super Bowls don't really etch it in stone for me. They just don't. The Maple Leafs haven't won a title since my dad was born. Yeah, they haven't won since 66. That's ridiculous. They're due. They are due. Sean Johnson says, "Do you see the Browns winning the Super Bowl this year?" No. I mean, Super Bowl and the Browns just don't coexist. Chiefs haven't won a title since 1970. It's been a while. I mean, honestly, I thought they should have won last year, but shit happens. Shit happens. I think they're still a year away. I think they're a lot more than a year away. Everyone thinks the Browns are going to be a great team this year. I don't. It all depends on how the personalities get put together. You have a lot of personalities on that team. You have Odell Beckham Jr., you have Baker Mayfield, you have Jarvis Landry, you have Kareem Hunt, who got suspended for 8 games. You have a lot of personalities on that team, and sometimes when you put that many personalities on the team, they don't mesh together, and it becomes an awful situation. So we really have to see how the first 4 games go before I could really put pen to paper when it says when saying the Browns are going to be a good, successful franchise for the next 5 to 10 years, because I just don't know yet. Thoughts on Johnny Manziel? I have none. He's a scrub. Will I be watching the XFL in 2020? Maybe I'll give it a look here or there, but I'm not going to really put my time and effort into watching the XFL. just because it's not like, I don't know. I think the rules are cool where they start the kickoffs at a certain yard line and they throw the ball in the middle and you just dive at each other for the ball. I think that's pretty cool, but it's barbaric as well, which the NFL will never ever do because the NFL is ridiculous as it is when it comes to violence. Nicholas Paz says Josh Allen needs to improve his throwing accuracy on the Bills. Yeah, I agree. I agree that Josh Allen has a cannon and he has speed. Like he's one of the quickest moving QBs in the league. If he could get that down, then I think he could be a pretty good QB. He's still my favorite QB from that draft class. Thoughts on Ben's new contract? I talked about it before. It's not. I don't think he's worth it right now. I really don't. Sean Johnson says, I hope the Yankees get Bumgarner. Yeah, they need somebody because they lost to the Mets tonight. They lost, and had nothing to do with pitching, actually. It was all the bullpen that gave it up. The bullpen's been sucking lately, and it's a cause for concern. No, I have no interest in joining the Army. No interest, especially with what happened with Preston yesterday. No interest. I know a lot of people go into the Army because they have no hope in life. It's something that obviously gets your minds into different places, but I have no interest to go in the Army. Now, granted, I'm not saying that anyone out there that's thinking about going to the Army, that they shouldn't go to the Army because that's your life decision. But I have no interest in going to the Army. I have too much ahead of me. I can use my brain for something else other than it potentially getting shot at. That's just not something I'm interested in doing. Kenny asks, are you worried about Dwayne Haskins and Daniel Jones being in the same division as the Eagles? Nope, not at all. Bondi was like, Josh Allen was the best running back on the Bills. Yeah, well, no, they had LaShawn McCoy. LaShawn McCoy was the best running back on the Bills. I still like Shady. Nicholas Pass says the Bills have good players, but they can never do anything right. It's the truth. They can never put it. They can never put anything to correlation. The Bills are the Bills for the reason, and they're not going to change anytime soon. Sean Johnson says losing Robertson hurt. I really liked him. We should have resigned Robinson and let Britton go. On paper, Britton looked like a better option, so that's why we let Robertson go to the Phillies. But what are you going to do? You can't change history. You can't go back in time, and Robertson's been hurt, so it's not like it would have benefited us anyway because we would have had to deal with that. By the way, anyone new to this channel, smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're not already. I'm going to be doing these episodes 2 to 3 times a week. I know I'm like beating a dead horse saying this, but once I get into my 5th or 6th episode, I'm not going to be saying this anymore. I'm basically just advertising the show. That's all I'm doing. The Bills were the worst playoff team in 2017. Yeah, they got in with Cincinnati scoring that touchdown at the end of their game. So I can't disagree with that. Bonnie Sports Network says, I can't wait to go to Buffalo, see those Wild fans. I'm just going to say the Broncos are more Super Bowl losses than the Bills, just to make him feel better. The Bills lost 4 straight Super Bowls. How can anything be worse than that? Nothing's worse than the Bills losing the 4 straight Super Bowls. It just can't happen. Do I think T.O. can return to coach the Philadelphia Eagles? I mean, anything's possible, but I don't really care if he does or not. I don't really care. Talking about hockey, the Rangers are looking pretty promising for next year. Yep, and the Flyers are underperforming again in free agency. Go figure. Mike Moran says Bills are the unluckiest franchise in sports. Can't disagree. Cannot disagree at all with that. Eric of Steel says you need to do more of these. Well, you're in luck. I'm doing 2 to 3 a week. I could do these for days because, the segment of Let's Talk About It can go on for days. There's not really any new titles I have to put out there. I could just label episode 3, episode 4, episode 5, and just talk. And, this show's for you guys. This show isn't for me. This show is for you guys to vent, talk about life situations, sports, movies, whatever, and then I just answer it. I just love talking to people. It's an out for me. But Eric of Steel says, kind of random, but what you think of the new Terrifying movie that's being filmed? The second one, I love it. The first one was a very good movie. It was. That clown scared the shit out of me. The beginning of the movie where he's tormenting the two girls, and then he ends up just butchering everybody. It's just, it was a phenomenal movie. If you guys haven't checked that film out, go on Netflix and search up Terrifier. Terrifier is one of the best modern day horror films right now. That film was absolutely incredible. Very excited of the second one coming out later this year. Nicholas Paz says, Cam Newton always dresses like an idiot in his post-game interviews. Yeah, he does that on purpose because, he needs to have all the attention at all times. Can't blame him. Who do you see in the Super Bowl next year? I'm going to say the Eagles. I'm going to say the Eagles Colts. I'm going to go off. I'm going to say the Eagles Colts. Because right now, those are the two best teams in my honest opinion. Eagles and Colts. The Devils look good. I mean, on paper, but you never know. All right, am I going to watch the new Spider-Man? If I have the time. I haven't really watched movies lately. The last movie I saw was actually 2 weeks ago. I saw Toy Story and I saw Child's Play. Child's Play was pretty good. Toy Story was good too. It just wasn't my favorite out of the whole series. Nah, Eric of Steel, I disagree with that. Brady's going to be 42 years old. Even if he does make another run this year, it's 42. He's 42. It's not going to go on much longer. And he looked terrible in the Super Bowl. The only reason why the Rams lost that game is because Todd Gurley had arthritis in his knee and Jared Goff forgot how to play football. If Jared Goff played a decent game and not a suck-ass game, they win that game. So I completely disagree with that theory. I don't think they're even going to get through the divisional round this year. I think Brady's going to fall off. I really do. And this is the first time I'm actually saying this. I think Brady's going to fall off this year. I really do. In the Super Bowl, against a defense that was really Jekyll and Hyde the whole year with the Rams, he didn't do much, and he lives for that moment. Nicholas Paz says, how do you think Mitch Trubisky will do this year? I think Mitch Trubisky sucks. I really do. I think he's just a very mediocre QB. I think the defense in Chicago is the real deal. Now, unfortunately, I see the Chicago Bears taking a step back this year. I don't think the Chicago Bears are going to do what they did last year. They're not going to rely on Trubisky as much, and it's going to end up hurting them. And Trubisky's going to rely on that defense. And the defense, it runs to that defense, so we'll see. Who do I think wins Super Bowl MVP? I don't know. I have no idea. You love Toy Story growing up? Yeah, everyone did. It was one of the best series of all time. Hopefully he could struggle in the game I'm going to. You're going to Gillette on opening night? You're going to Banner Night? That's pretty cool. How'd you get tickets for that? Tommy Lee says, have you heard of that Russian before he signed with the New York Rangers? Yeah, the guy on Columbus, Artemi Perini. I think it's Perini. Yeah, the guy who had 87 points last year. I've heard of him. He's good. He's a good pickup. Area of Steel says, I only saw the first 2 Toy Stories. Yeah, the third one was very good. I'm as a grown-ass man back in high school, it almost had me on the verge of tears. So Toy Story 3 was my favorite. The first one was, honestly, no, the first one was probably my favorite. Then the third one, then the second one, then the fourth one. The Rams are going to take a step back this year. I agree with that 100%, Sean. I agree with that. Again, it sucks seeing that banner go up, but hopefully it's worth it, and we can finally win in Foxborough. Yeah, it's been a while, right? 6-7 years? Yeah, man, Toy Story 3 is perfect, wasn't it? I agree, Nicholas. Changed my mind about the Yankees Cardinals. Yankees versus Dodgers. Dodgers lose 3 in a row. Yeah, I mean, It's baseball such a long season. It's too early to change your mind on anything. Just let it play out, see where it goes. Um, Baseball's a long season, man. It's a very long season. Dolan needs to sell the next. Can't disagree, Sean. Since 2008, they haven't won in Gillette. Wow, 11 years. It's time for them to change something up then, because that's ridiculous. Tommy Lee says, "You heading to Vegas for UFC?" Absolutely. My plane is at 7:58 going out of Philly. Um, I'm heading to Vegas. When I get to Vegas, it'll be like 10 o'clock at night, so I'll be able to do stuff on the night before the fights. And then on Saturday, at 3 o'clock is when I head in to see the prelims, because everything is 3 hours behind out there. So I cannot wait to go out there. I've never been to Vegas for fights. I haven't been to Vegas in 5 years. I'm excited to go to Vegas. Like I need to get away. So much shit has happened over the last 2 weeks. I need to get away. We were against Matt Castle that day. Yeah, that was in 2008, right? We never beat Brady in Foxborough. Yeah, it's tough to win in Foxborough. The last time, the Eagles won in Foxborough in 2015 with Sam Bradford. That was a good day. I was there. What picture do you think the Yankees are going to get? I don't know. My guess is probably Stroman from the Blue Jays. That's my guess. Because they're not going to get Scherzer, because Washington's somewhat still in it some way, somehow. So we're probably going to get like a Bumgarner or Stroman. That would be my guess. But we need somebody. Eric of Steel says, maybe since I'll be at the game, our luck will change. Good luck. Talking about the Raptors hoisting the banner body. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think we'll see what happens there. Hopefully Holly will win. I'm actually picking Holly to beat Amanda Nunes this Saturday. I think Holly Holm, she avenges a lot of tough losses. She lost to Jermaine Durandamy in Brooklyn. I was there. I thought Holly won that fight, but a couple of cheap shots might have sold her short. Holly Holm has been on the short end of the stick a lot, and I think she avenges it this Saturday, and I think she wins actually. And then they have a rematch down the road, which will really piss off Cyborg. Something that you're going through rough times. My cat is really sick, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Eagles are one. Hopefully your cat gets better. How old is your cat? Because my cat died in December. That was sad. I had to put her down right in front of me. That sucked. Stephen A. Smith said the Sixers are going to come out of the East. And we'll see. Your cat was 12 or 13, or is 12 or 13? Yeah, it's getting up there, but your cat's going to be fine, man. Your cat will be fine. Nicholas says the Orioles are a dumpster fire. Can't disagree with that. Bumgarner might go to the Twins or Braves. I mean, those are potential 2 landing spots because they're both in contention to win a World Series, so I could see that. Yeah, I mean, I do like Stroman. I do like Stroman for the Yankees. That would be one pitcher that I wouldn't mind coming to the New York Yankees if we didn't get Scherzer. I don't think we're getting Scherzer, though, so that's the guy that I'm looking for. What do you think the Dodgers need to do to win the World Series? Keep winning. They have a pretty good squad. And then don't face the Yankees, because the Yankees are better than them. Mike Moran says, sucks, just had to put my dog down last month. Happens in life. If you have animals, unfortunately, it's just something you're going to have to go through. They're part of your life for a long time, and then all of a sudden, chances are they're going to die before you. No, they are going to die before you. So it's just something in life that you have to go through if you have pets. It's just something you have to think about before purchasing a pet, because you're going to get attached to them, and just one day they're just not going to be there anymore. So it sucks. Eagles once said, what do you think of Speed's video? The one last night about the whole Preston situation. I am so glad that Eagles Speed took that down. He didn't go about it the right way at all. I guess I got where he was coming from, but it's just you don't blame the girlfriend for what Preston did to himself. You just you don't blame Preston's girlfriend or ex-girlfriend for what he did to himself. You just don't do that. He did it to himself. It sucks. We're all gonna miss him. But suicide, it's just one of those things. I just think, like, deep down, suicide is very preventable. And it's kind of an easy way out in life. Especially when I always believe that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I just think it's a very easy way out, and it's just something that is very preventable. So, you know, I just saw going back to Speed's video. I just thought that it was very. I hate to say it, Speed. It was a very, very immature way of putting everything. That's just. But thank God you took it down, Speed. Like, thank God. Yankees versus Dodgers World Series. I'm calling it. That would be the best World Series ever. Potentially, this would be the Dodgers' third straight trip to the Fall Classic. And if they lose 3 times in a row, that would be like really embarrassing. But if you run into the Yankees, I think you're going to lose 3 straight. I think the Broncos are the most underrated franchise in the NFL. I mean, I can't disagree with that. What do they have? 3 titles? But yeah, guys, there's about 4 minutes left to this show. Thank you for joining in. Smash that thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed already, do so. I'm going to be doing these every single week, 2 to 3 times. This is your show to ask whatever you want, say whatever you want. I'll go in depth on your comments. And yeah, I love every second of this new segment. I could do these for days. So anything you guys want to air out, talk about, if something bad is happening in your personal life that you need to air out, I'll try to console you, stuff like that. So it's a big therapy session for the world of sports, personal life, politics, whatever you want to talk about. So that's what this segment's all about. Tough loss for the Yanks tonight. Yeah, they were due though. It's a rivalry game, and they're playing on the road. They were due. Bonnie says, I'm a Yankees fan when they play the Red Sox. I'm a Jays fan, whatever. Yep. I mean, that's a shocker because usually it's the other way around. Usually the Red Sox, people are Red Sox fans that root against the Yankees, but usually it's the other way around. Eric of Steel says, I plan on doing a live stream collab with someone well known hopefully soon. Yeah, can't wait to see that, man. Keep me in touch and tell me when it's going on. I'll definitely check that out. Nope, the Yankees lost to the Eagles 0-1. But yes, smash that thumbs up button, guys. Like I said, I'm going to be doing these every single week. So whatever you guys want to ask, time is yours. Nicholas Paz says the Rays play half of their home games in Montreal because they want the city of Tampa to pay for the new stadium. Yeah, that's so stupid. I'm actually happy someone brought that up because, how can you have a franchise go relocate for half a season? Makes no sense to me. That's like the Eagles going from Philly to Buffalo for half the season. How do you do that? How do you do that to your fans that stick with you? Either relocate your franchise permanently or don't do it at all. You can't do that to your fans that have stuck with you since day one. It's their decision to move with you, all right? You don't go play somewhere else half the season. You just don't do that. That's stupid. Bonnie Sports Network says, screw the Red Sox. I hate all Boston teams. Are the Yankees wait. I don't know what you said. That was kind of a clusterfuck what you said, but I think you said you'd rather the Yankees win 50 straight World Series titles than the Red Sox. That's funny. Bonnie Sports Network. There's no fans in Tampa. Yeah, but there are. There's fans everywhere, man. There's diehard fans in Tampa. There's some. There's not many, but there's some, and you can't just relocate a team. You can't just do that. Worst Yankee team I've ever seen growing up. Well, we haven't really had any bad teams, but I'd say the most frustrating team was probably our last year in the old Yankee Stadium, 2008. We missed the playoffs, and Yankee Stadium was so big to me growing up. I actually love that stadium. So I think that was the most frustrating team I've ever seen. Your uncle's a huge Bucks fan, suffers every year with Jameis Winston. Sucks, man. The 80s Yankee teams, yeah, they were pretty fucking brutal, man. I hear a lot of stories. But yeah, there's about 40 seconds left. I'm just going to wrap this up. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Let's Talk About It, Episode 3. This was a very entertaining show. It went by quick. It seems like every single show goes by even quicker. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button on the way out. Just smash the shit out of it. If you're not subscribed already, if you liked what you saw tonight, if you liked the show tonight, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. The next one will probably be on Thursday. If not, it will be on Friday in Las Vegas. And I will see you guys then. Thank you guys for tuning in. Smash that thumbs up button. Thanks. Peace out. Bye.